You and you are on the same side. Remember that. You are not here to defeat yourself into becoming better. You are not here to shame yourself into growth. You are not here to chase every part of you with criticism until one day you finally become acceptable. Dear one, you are not the enemy of your own life. You are the one who has been trying, sometimes clumsily, sometimes fearfully, sometimes beautifully, to survive, to understand, to love, to be safe, and to find your way home. Many people do not realize they are living as if they themselves are a problem that must be fixed. They wake up and begin the inner argument before the day has even begun. One part says, "You are not doing enough." Another part feels tired and quietly collapses. One part says, "You should be further ahead." Another part feels ashamed and begins to hide. One part says, "Why are you so sensitive?" Another part becomes even more wounded because it needed comfort, not judgment. And when these parts of you are fighting each other, your energy leaks away. The body becomes tired. The mind becomes heavy. Joy has no room to enter because the inner house is filled with conflict. So today, let us begin with a new agreement. I want to understand myself. I do not want to keep fighting myself. Healing does not begin when you force yourself to change. Healing begins when you become curious instead of cruel. It begins when you stop standing over yourself with a whip and begin sitting beside yourself with kindness. It begins when you say, "What is really happening inside me? What is this feeling trying to tell me? What part of me has been asking for love in a language I did not yet understand?" Ask yourself gently, what part of me am I fighting? Maybe you are fighting your softness because someone once called it weakness. Maybe you are fighting your need for rest because you were taught that value comes only from producing. Maybe you are fighting your desire for love because you are afraid of needing anyone. Maybe you are fighting your body because the world taught you to see it as an object to improve instead of a home to care for. Maybe you are fighting your slower seasons because you think life must always look impressive from the outside. Then ask, what am I trying to fix only because I believe it is not worthy of love? This is a powerful question. Sometimes we call something a flaw when it is really a wound. Sometimes we call something laziness when it is exhaustion. Sometimes we call something overreaction when it is an old hurt asking to be understood. Sometimes we call ourselves difficult when we are simply no longer able to abandon ourselves in the same old way. And then ask, if I stopped judging myself today, what inside me would finally be able to breathe? Perhaps your body would breathe. Perhaps your heart would breathe. Perhaps your creativity would breathe. Perhaps the child inside you, the one who has been trying so hard to be good enough, would take one long breath and say, "At last, someone is on my side." Now let us look at the quiet ways people punish themselves. One of the heaviest chains is the chain of I should. I should be thinner. I should be more successful. I should be calmer. I should be married. I should have more money. I should be like them. I should be over this. I should not feel this way. Every should can become a little prison when it is not rooted in love. It pulls you away from your own inner truth and places you under an outside standard that may not even belong to your soul. Please notice the difference between a loving desire and a cruel should. A loving desire says, I would like to care for my body because I feel better when I am nourished. A cruel should says, you are unacceptable until you look different. A loving desire says, I want to grow in my work because my gifts matter. A cruel should says, you are nothing unless you achieve more. A loving desire says, I want to become emotionally steadier. A cruel should says, you are too much and you must stop being human. The energy is completely different. Love expands. Shame contracts. Love guides. Shame attacks. Love helps you stand up. Shame makes you want to hide. So when you hear the word should inside yourself, pause and ask, is this coming from love or is this coming from fear? Another quiet punishment is self-abuse disguised as discipline. This is very common. You ignore the body's needs because you want to prove you are strong. You refuse joy because some hidden part of you believes you have not earned it yet. You stay in places that hurt you because deep down you think this is what you deserve. You push yourself past every signal, then call it ambition. You speak to yourself with harshness, then call it motivation. But dear one, that is not maturity. That is self-abandonment with a serious face. True discipline is not a hatred of yourself. True discipline is devotion to your well-being. It says, I will care for you even when it would be easier to neglect you. It says, I will help you grow without humiliating you. It says, I will guide your choices, but I will not break your spirit. If your discipline makes you feel smaller, more frightened, more ashamed, and more disconnected from your own body, it may not be discipline at all. It may be an old wound trying to become respectable. There are signs that you have been fighting yourself. You always feel not enough, no matter how much you do. You rest, but guilt sits beside you like an unpaid bill. You succeed, but satisfaction disappears almost immediately because the inner critic moves the finish line again. You do not know what you really want because you have listened to judgment for so long that your own desire has become quiet. You may feel confused, not because you have no truth, but because the truth has been interrupted too many times by fear. So how do we put down the weapons? How do we begin to reconcile with ourselves? The first step is to change the question from, what is wrong with me, to, what do I need? This one change can open a whole new doorway in the mind. When you are tired, do not ask, why am I so weak? Ask, what kind of rest is my body asking for? When you are sad, do not ask, why am I so sensitive? Ask, what tenderness have I been needing? When you procrastinate, do not immediately call yourself lazy. Ask, am I afraid? Am I overwhelmed? Do I need clarity, support, or a smaller first step? The moment you ask about need instead of defect, the nervous system begins to soften. It feels less attacked, and when you are less attacked, you can hear yourself more clearly. The second step is to speak to yourself like someone you love. This is not sentimental. This is practical healing. The inner voice is where your life begins to change direction. If the voice inside you is always cruel, then even beautiful opportunities will feel unsafe because you will bring yourself into them as an enemy. So practice new sentences. Instead of I am terrible, say, I am learning a new way. Instead of I have to fix myself, say, I can care for myself better. Instead of I always ruin things, say, I can take responsibility without attacking myself. Instead of I am behind, say, I am moving at the pace of my own healing. At first, this may feel unfamiliar. Let it be unfamiliar. New kindness often feels strange to a mind trained in criticism. But strange does not mean false. It means new pathways are forming. Speak the new words anyway. Place your hand on your heart and say, I am on my own side now. I am willing to understand myself. I can grow through love instead of shame. The third step is to choose one gentle but real action. Not a dramatic life overhaul, not a perfect plan. One honest act of self-respect. Eat when the body needs food. Rest when the body needs rest. Tell the truth when your heart needs to be honored. Leave what makes you small. Put the phone down when it is feeding comparison. Take a breath before answering from fear. Finish one small thing that matters to you. These actions may look simple, but each one tells your deeper self, I am no longer abandoning you. You do not choose these actions to become perfect. You choose them to become honest. Honest with your body. Honest with your feelings. Honest with your limits. Honest with your longing. Honest with a life that wants to be lived through you. Full living begins when the inner war begins to end. When you no longer spend all your energy arguing with yourself, there is energy left for joy, creativity, love, work, beauty, play, and peace. So today, make peace with yourself in one small place. Choose one part of you that you have been criticizing and say, I want to understand you. Choose one should and ask whether it truly belongs to you. Choose one moment of rest without guilt. Choose one sentence that sounds like love instead of punishment. Choose one action that proves you are on your own side. And let this be your affirmation. I am not my enemy. I am my companion. I stop fighting myself and begin listening with love. I release the old need to punish myself into change. I choose understanding. I choose kindness. I choose one honest step today. I am safe to live fully, and all is well within me. After so many years, I have realized that life does not become fuller when we become harder on ourselves. It becomes fuller when we become kinder, more honest, and less frightened of our own humanity. For a very long time, many of us were taught to treat life like an examination. Every choice had to be correct. Every feeling had to be managed. Every mistake had to be hidden. Every season had to prove something. We learned to hold our breath through our own days, as if someone were always watching with a red pen, waiting to mark what we did wrong. And when you live this way, dear one, even beautiful things can feel heavy. Love becomes a test. Work becomes a test. Rest becomes a test. Healing becomes a test. Even joy can feel like something you must earn, deserve, or justify. But what if life is not an examination? What if life is more like a great field you are invited to walk through, to touch, to learn from, to laugh in, to fall down in, to begin again in? What if the point is not to perform perfectly, but to become more alive, more awake, more real? Somewhere along the way, you may have confused seriousness with wisdom. You may have believed that if you are not worrying, you are not being responsible. If you are not pushing, you are not growing. If you are not criticizing yourself, you will become careless. But this is an old belief. And it has not made people peaceful. It has made people tired. Playfulness is not weakness. It is a form of trust. It says, I am allowed to try. It says, I am allowed to learn. It says, I can make a mistake and still remain worthy. It says, I do not have to turn every experience into a courtroom. When you see life only as a test, you become afraid of being wrong. You hesitate, you hide, you tighten. You ask, what will they think? What if I fail? What if I look foolish? And little by little, life becomes smaller. Not because your soul is small, but because fear has made the doorway narrow. When you see life as a journey of discovery, something softens. You can try the class. You can start the project. You can speak a little more honestly. You can wear the color. You can dance badly in the kitchen. You can learn something new without needing to be impressive immediately. You can say, how interesting I am learning, instead of how terrible I did not do it perfectly. This little shift brings oxygen into the spirit. It gives the body permission to relax. It allows the inner child to come out from the corner and say, may I play too? Please do not underestimate the healing power of lightness. A little laughter can loosen a knot in the heart. A little curiosity can open a door that pressure kept shut. A little play can return energy that years of self-judgment stole from you. You are not here only to correct yourself. You are here to live, to taste the tea, to feel sunlight on the skin, to create something imperfect and beautiful, to speak truth with a trembling voice, to love without abandoning yourself, to rest without proving exhaustion first, to laugh at the strange little habits of the mind and say, oh dear, there I go again, trying to turn life into a final exam. So today, ask yourself, where have I made life too heavy? Not with blame, with curiosity. Have you made healing too heavy? Have you made success too heavy? Have you made relationships too heavy? Have you made your own body a project instead of a companion? Where can you bring a little softness, a little play, a little room to breathe? Perhaps you can do one thing simply because it delights you, not because it makes money, not because it improves your image, not because it impresses anyone, just because your soul enjoys it. That is not a waste of time. That is life returning to you. And then we must gently redefine enough. This is such an important word, enough. Many people hear it and think it means small, limited, poor, or without desire. But enough does not mean you are not allowed to grow. Enough does not mean you must refuse beauty, prosperity, love, comfort, or expansion. Enough means you have begun to understand what truly nourishes you. It means you stop chasing more simply because more is being advertised to your fear. It means you stop letting the world tell you that you are behind because you do not want what everyone else is chasing. Enough money is not a number chosen by comparison. It is the support that allows you to live with dignity, peace, generosity, and freedom from constant fear. Enough time is not an empty calendar. It is a rhythm that allows you to meet your responsibilities without losing your own soul. Enough material comfort is not deprivation. It is having what supports your life without being possessed by endless wanting. Enough success is not being worshipped. It is expressing your gifts in a way that feels meaningful and true. Enough love is not being needed by everyone. It is being connected in ways that allow your heart to breathe. When you do not know what enough is, the mind can keep moving the finish line. You achieve something, and immediately the inner voice says, "Not enough." You rest, and it says, "You should be doing more." You receive something good, and it says, "What if you lose it?" You compare, and suddenly your own life looks smaller. Not because it is small, but because you have measured it with someone else's ruler. Dear one, put down the ruler. Come back to your own life. Ask, what actually nourishes me? What brings peace into my body? What makes me feel honest, alive, and grounded? What am I chasing only because I am afraid I will not matter without it? This is not a question the world can answer for you. You must listen inward. Perhaps you need less noise, not more achievement. Perhaps you need deeper friendships, not more attention. Perhaps you need rest, not another goal. Perhaps you need creative expression, not another possession. Perhaps you need to stop proving and start belonging to yourself. Enough is not the end of desire. It is the beginning of wise desire. It is desire that comes from the soul, not from lack. You may say softly, "I allow myself to know what truly nourishes me. I release the need to chase what does not belong to my peace. I welcome enoughness into my body, my home, my work, and my heart." Let that word enoughness feel warm, not small. Enoughness is the feeling of sitting inside your own life and no longer being at war with it. It is the feeling of saying, "I can grow from here, but I do not have to hate here in order to grow." Now let us speak about true solitude. There is a beautiful difference between isolation and solitude. Isolation is when you close the door because you are in pain and you believe no one can meet you. Isolation says, "I am alone because I am unsafe." It often feels heavy, defensive, and cold. It may look like independence from the outside, but inside it is a wound trying not to be touched. Solitude is different. Solitude is when you are alone and still feel connected to yourself. It says, "I am with me." It feels clean, spacious, and restoring. It does not reject love. It prepares you for healthier love. Many people are afraid to be alone because silence reveals what noise has covered. When the messages stop, when the room becomes quiet, when there is no one to entertain, impress, rescue, chase, or analyze, the self appears. At first, this may feel uncomfortable. If you have been away from yourself for a long time, your own presence may feel unfamiliar. But do not run too quickly. Sit gently, make tea, breathe, write a few honest words. Let the quiet become friendly. You are not being abandoned. You are being introduced to yourself. True solitude teaches you that you are not empty when no one is filling the room. You still have breath. You still have thoughts you can question. You still have a body you can care for. You still have feelings you can listen to. You still have desires, creativity, humor, tenderness, and wisdom. When you no longer need another person to fill every empty place inside, your relationships become freer. You do not come to love as someone begging to be completed. You come as someone willing to share. You can enjoy people without clinging to them. You can miss someone without losing yourself. You can love deeply without making another person responsible for your entire inner world. Solitude also teaches discernment. When you have become peaceful in your own company, you become less willing to trade that peace for chaotic connection. You no longer confuse constant contact with intimacy. You no longer confuse intensity with love. You no longer say yes to companionship that leaves you lonelier than being alone. This is not becoming cold. This is becoming honest. A full life includes connection, yes, but it also includes a sacred relationship with your own inner world. So let us make this practical. The practice now is not to fix yourself. The practice is to listen to yourself. There is a very big difference. Fixing comes from the belief, something about me is wrong. Listening comes from the belief, something in me is trying to be understood. Fixing often rushes, listening allows. Fixing can feel like pressure. Listening feels like a hand placed gently on the heart. For today, let us stop asking, how do I correct myself into worthiness? And begin asking, how do I hear myself into wholeness? Take out a page if you can, or simply answer in your mind. Ask, where did I say I should today? Perhaps you said, I should be further along. I should look different. I should not need rest. I should say yes. I should be over this. I should be more like, write it down. Look at it. Do not let it remain a vague command floating in the mind. Bring it into the light where you can examine it with love. Then ask, does this standard truly belong to me? This is a freeing question. Some of your standards may belong to family, culture, fear, comparison, old criticism, social media, or a wounded version of you who believed love had to be earned through performance. Perhaps the standard is not yours at all. Perhaps it was handed to you, and you have carried it for so long that you forgot you could put it down. If it does not belong to your soul, bless it and release it. You can say, thank you for trying to guide me. I choose a truer way now. Then ask, if I chose to love myself more, what word would I use instead of should? Maybe I choose. Maybe I am willing. Maybe I would like. Maybe it supports me to. Feel the difference. I should rest may still carry guilt. I choose to rest because my body matters, carries respect. I should eat better may carry shame. I am willing to nourish my body carries love. I should work harder may carry fear. I choose one focused action because my dreams matter carries dignity. Change the word and the energy changes. This is the kind of inner work that seems small, but it changes the direction of your life. Your words are not empty. They are instructions. They are atmosphere. They tell the body whether life is safe or hostile. When your inner language becomes softer and more truthful, the body can stop bracing for attack. The mind can stop hiding. The heart can start participating again. Now, mirror work. Stand before the mirror if you can. If you feel awkward, smile a little. Awkward does not mean wrong. It only means you are speaking a new language to yourself. Look into your eyes, not to inspect your face, not to list what must be changed, but to meet the person who has lived every single day with you. Say slowly, I am not here to fight myself anymore. Let the words land. If a part of you does not believe it yet, that is all right. You are planting a new way. Then say, I am willing to understand myself with love. This is such a gentle sentence because it does not demand instant transformation. It only opens the door. Willingness is a beautiful beginning. It says, I may not know how to love every part of me yet, but I am no longer committed to rejection. Then say, I allow myself to live fully now, not later, not when you become perfect, not when you finally meet every condition the old mind created. Now, in this body, in this season, in this real life. After mirror work, choose one action in the day that proves you are no longer fighting yourself. Do one thing for joy, not achievement. This may be music, a walk, a flower, a meal you enjoy, a few minutes of drawing, singing, stretching, reading, laughing, or sitting in sunlight. Joy is not frivolous. Joy is life saying yes through you. Choose one unnecessary pressure and say no to it. Not every demand is sacred. Not every urgency is truth. Give your body one rest without guilt. Rest is not the enemy of a full life. Rest is how a full life becomes sustainable. The old pattern may say, "This is not enough." And you can answer, "For today, this is how I return to myself." You do not need one dramatic action to prove you are changing. You need one honest action that says, "I am listening now." And now we come to the close. Life begins again when you stop fighting yourself. Not because every problem disappears, but because your energy is no longer trapped in an inner war. You are no longer using all your strength to judge, hide, push, prove, and punish. That energy can return to living, to creating, to loving, to resting, to choosing, to laughing, to listening, to being present for the life that is actually here. You do not need to fix yourself like a broken object. You need to meet yourself as a living being with gentleness, with honesty, with respect. You need to ask what hurts instead of calling yourself difficult. You need to ask what nourishes you instead of copying what impresses others. You need to ask what is true instead of performing what is acceptable. You need to ask what brings you alive instead of only asking what makes you look successful. When you stop fighting yourself, you may feel lighter. Not because you suddenly have no responsibility, but because you have stopped carrying the extra weight of self-attack. You may feel truer, not because everyone understands you, but because you understand yourself more clearly. You may feel freer, not because you have escaped all difficulty, but because you are no longer making yourself an enemy during difficult moments. This is the wisdom of living fully. You become playful enough to try, grounded enough to know what is enough, peaceful enough to enjoy solitude, honest enough to question the word should, and loving enough to speak to yourself in the mirror without turning away. You begin to live less as a performance and more as a presence, less as a test and more as a discovery, less as a battle and more as a relationship with your own soul. So today, do not wait for life to give you permission to live fully. Give yourself permission. Begin with one breath, one kind sentence, one honest question, one small joy, one sacred no, one moment of rest, one look in the mirror where you are not searching for what is wrong, but greeting the person who is ready to come home. Say softly now, and let these words become the new agreement inside you. I am on my own side now. I stop fighting myself and start living fully. Life becomes softer when I become kinder to myself. I am not here to punish myself into change. I am here to love myself into truth. I choose joy without guilt. I choose enoughness without fear. I choose solitude that restores me. I choose words that heal me. I choose actions that honor my body and my heart. I allow myself to live fully now. All is well within me. And if you are ready to reconcile with yourself, write in the comments, I am on my own side now. Let this sentence be more than a comment. Let it be a promise. Let it be a hand extended inward. Let it be the moment you stop standing across from yourself as an opponent and begin walking beside yourself as a friend. I love all of you. All is well. What frequency are you living in today? Not as a judgment, dear one, but as a loving question. This is what I mean when I speak of vibration. Vibration is not something strange or distant or mysterious. It is the state of energy you are carrying in your thoughts, emotions, words, body, and the way you look at life. It is the atmosphere you live in from the inside. You may not always say it out loud, but life can feel the difference between I am not safe and I am supported. Your body can feel the difference between I must prove myself and I am willing to receive. Your relationships can feel the difference between please do not leave me and I am whole and I welcome healthy love. When you live in fear, self-criticism, anger, jealousy, resentment, or lack, your energy contracts. It becomes like a hand closing into a fist. Nothing is wrong with you when this happens. It simply means some part of you feels unsafe. Perhaps an old wound has been touched. Perhaps an old belief has begun broadcasting again. Perhaps the child inside you is asking, will anyone take care of me? But when you live in love, peace, gratitude, trust, and worthiness, your energy opens. It becomes like hands opening to the morning, saying, I am open and receptive to all good. Life often responds not only to what you say you want, but to the energy of the person you are being while you want it. You may say, I want love, but if the energy inside is panic, fear of abandonment, and the old belief that you must chase in order to be chosen, you may keep selecting people who make you anxious. You may say, I want prosperity, but if deep inside you feel guilty about receiving or believe you are not worthy of ease, you may unconsciously avoid opportunities that would support you. You may say, I want peace. But if every day you feed the mind with criticism, comparison, and hurry, the body may not know how to relax into peace. Now, please do not use this idea to blame yourself. That would lower the energy immediately, wouldn't it? We are not saying, oh, I created this because I am bad. No, we are saying, how interesting. My energy is showing me something. My life is showing me a belief. My body is showing me where I need more love. This is awareness, and awareness is the first doorway to change. So ask yourself gently, is my energy today contracted or expanded? Am I living from love or from fear? Do I believe life can support me, or do I believe I must fight alone? Am I allowing good, or am I standing at the ocean of life with a tiny cracked cup, wondering why I receive so little? You do not need to judge the answer. You only need to see it. The moment you see the pattern, you are already beginning to change it. Let us look at the signs of a lower vibration with kindness. You may be in a lower frequency when little things trigger you quickly. A person does not reply, and the mind says, I am not important. A plan changes, and the mind says, Nothing works for me. Someone else succeeds. And instead of feeling inspired, you feel smaller, as if their good has taken something away from you. You may think bad things will happen. You may feel you must control everything in order to be safe. You may often tell yourself, I am not enough. I always get it wrong. No one really chooses me. The body may feel heavy. The breath may feel tight. The mind may feel noisy. You may feel as if you are always defending yourself from life. But dear one, a low vibration does not mean you are a low person. It does not mean you are weak, unspiritual, or failing. It often means you are frightened. It often means you are tired. It often means you are using old ways to protect yourself. Perhaps you learned to worry because worry felt like preparation. Perhaps you learned to control because being unprepared once hurt you. Perhaps you learned to criticize yourself first so no one else could wound you more deeply. These patterns were trying to help you survive. They may not be helping you flourish now, but they were not created because you were wrong. They were created because some part of you needed safety. So do not beat the low vibration. Love it upward. Put a hand on your heart and say, I see that I am afraid. I am willing to be kind to myself now. If jealousy appears, do not say, I am terrible. Say, there is a part of me that feels there is not enough. I now choose to remember that life has enough good for everyone. If anxiety appears, do not say, I am broken. Say, my body is trying to protect me. Thank you for sharing. I am safe enough in this moment. If self-criticism appears, say, that is an old thought. I choose a more loving thought now. A higher vibration feels very different. It does not mean life is perfect. It means you are no longer completely owned by imperfection. You may still have responsibilities, but you do not feel crushed by them in the same way. You may still feel discomfort, but you do not need to react immediately. You may be alone, but you do not feel abandoned by yourself. You begin to notice small blessings. The first breath of the morning, a warm drink, light coming through the window, a kind word, the softness of clean sheets, the miracle of your body carrying you again today. When your vibration rises, gratitude becomes easier. Not forced gratitude, not pretending everything is wonderful, but a natural noticing of good. You begin to believe that you can receive without exhausting yourself first. You begin to forgive more easily, yet you also set clearer boundaries. This is important. A high vibration is not people-pleasing. It is not saying yes to everything. It is not smiling while your heart is being stepped on. High energy is loving, but it is also clear. It can say, I bless you and I release you. It can say, this no longer serves me. It can say, I choose peace and therefore I will not keep returning to what destroys it. And perhaps you are in the middle, as most people are. Some days you feel open, and some days the old fear returns. Some days you trust life, and some days you ask, where is my support? Some days you feel guided, and some days you feel forgotten. This is normal. Raising your vibration is not about being cheerful every minute. It is not forcing yourself to smile when you want to cry. It is not denying grief, anger, tiredness, or human tenderness. It is the practice of returning to love more quickly each time you wander into fear. That is all. Return more quickly. Return without punishment. Return without saying, I failed again. Simply notice, breathe, and choose again. You might say, I am willing to raise my energy with love. I do not have to fight myself into a higher state. I can breathe. I can soften. I can choose one thought that feels better. And perhaps the thought is very simple. All is well in this moment. Or, life supports me in ways I can see and ways I cannot yet see. Or, I am open and receptive to all good today. Imagine yourself as a little radio transmitter. You do not need to scream at life. You do not need to chase every good thing. You simply tune yourself. You tune through your thoughts. You tune through your words. You tune through the way you treat your body. You tune through gratitude. You tune through forgiveness. You tune through choosing not to criticize yourself for one more day. And as the signal changes, life begins to respond to a different you. So today ask lovingly, what is my frequency teaching me? Not accusing me, teaching me. If I feel contracted, where do I need tenderness? If I feel jealous, where do I need to remember abundance? If I feel exhausted, where do I need rest? If I feel afraid, what part of me needs reassurance? If I feel open, how can I celebrate and expand this good feeling? Your vibration is not a sentence, it is a message. It is saying, here is where love is needed. Here is where rest is needed. Here is where a new belief is ready to be planted. And the moment you respond with love, the energy begins to change. Let us say together now gently, I notice my energy with love. I do not judge where I am. I choose to move from fear into trust. I choose to move from lack into gratitude. I choose to move from self-criticism into self-approval. My energy is opening. My heart is softening. My life is responding to the love I now give myself. I am safe. I am guided. I am open and receptive to all good. There are 5 gentle ways to raise your vibration from the inside. And the third one is very important because it is the place where many people quietly block the good they say they want. So listen with an open heart, not with pressure, not with the feeling that you must become perfect by tomorrow morning, but with curiosity, because raising your vibration is not about pretending to be happy. It is not about smiling when your heart is tired. It is not about denying grief, fear, anger, or the very human moments when you simply do not know what to do next. Raising your vibration is learning how to choose love, care, clarity, and gratitude often enough that they become your new inner home. The first way is to come back into harmony with yourself. Magic does not begin when you finally force the whole world to change. It begins when you stop leaving yourself. So many people are trying to change their circumstances while they are still disconnected from their own heart. They ask everyone else what they should do. They chase signs, answers, approval, and reassurance. They listen to the loudest voice outside themselves and then wonder why they feel confused. Dear one, your energy becomes scattered when you are always running out of yourself to find safety somewhere else. To be in harmony with yourself means you begin asking tender questions. What am I feeling? What do I need? What am I afraid of? What am I pretending not to want? What part of me is asking to be heard? These are beautiful questions. They do not attack you. They bring you home. And when you come home to yourself, your signal becomes clearer. Think of yourself like a radio. If the dial is jumping from one station to another every few seconds, all you hear is noise. A little fear, a little people-pleasing, a little resentment, a little comparison, a little desperate wanting, a little old guilt. No wonder life feels confusing. But when you pause, breathe, and listen inward, the signal steadies. You begin to say, "Ah, this is what I really feel. This is what I really need. This is what I am ready to release." Clarity raises vibration. Honesty raises vibration. Self-abandonment lowers it. Self-connection lifts it again. You might practice this in the morning before the world enters. Place one hand on the heart and say, "Today I return to myself before I reach for anything outside of me." Then ask, what is the energy I want to carry today? Not the mood you hope other people give you, not the peace you hope circumstances create for you. The energy you choose to begin with: peace, trust, gratitude, clarity, love. Choose one and let it become the little lamp you carry through the day. The second way is to set boundaries that protect your energy. This is very important because you cannot continually place yourself in environments that make you feel small and then wonder why your vibration feels heavy. You cannot say yes when your whole body is saying no and then expect your energy to feel clear. You cannot keep giving access to people who drain, confuse, shame, or manipulate you and then wonder why your nervous system is tired. A boundary is not punishment. It is not coldness. It is not a wall built from hatred. A boundary is a loving statement to life. My energy has value. It says, I choose what enters the house of my mind. You would not allow every stranger to walk into your home, open your drawers, sit at your table, criticize your walls, and leave mud on the floor. Yet many people allow every energy, every opinion, every demand, every emotional storm to enter the sacred home of their inner world. Then they feel exhausted and call it love. Love does not ask you to become a doorway with no door. There are conversations you do not need to enter. There are explanations you do not need to repeat. There are relationships where the lesson is no longer to endure, but to leave with love. There are places you must step away from, not because you hate anyone, but because you are beginning to love yourself. And if an old thought says, "But what will they think?" you can say, "Thank you for sharing. I am learning to honor my energy." A person who loves themselves does not open the soul to every vibration that knocks. You can bless people and still not invite their chaos into your day. You can forgive and still not continue the same pattern. You can be kind and still say no. In fact, sometimes the clearest no is the most loving yes you will ever give to your own life. The third way, and this is the one I want you to hear very deeply, is to trust your own energy and your own worthiness. Many people try to raise their vibration while secretly believing they do not deserve the good they are asking for. They say, "I am open to abundance," but when an opportunity appears, they shrink. They say, "I want love," but when healthy love comes near, they feel suspicious or unworthy. They say, "I want to be seen," but when life gives them a larger place to stand, they ask, "Who am I to receive this?" This is where the magic often gets blocked. The universe can bring good to your door, but if you are still living from the belief that you are not allowed to receive, you may not open the door. Or you may open it a little, look at the good, and say, "This must be for someone else." Dear one, why not you? Why not your life? Why not your healing? Why not your prosperity? Why not your peaceful love? Why not your beautiful new beginning? Trusting your energy does not mean sitting still and doing nothing. It means you act from faith instead of panic. You still make the call, write the message, do the work, care for the body, learn the skill, take the step, but you do not destroy yourself with fear while doing it. You do not say, if this does not happen immediately, life has abandoned me. You do not say, I must force, chase, push, and prove. You begin to say, I am willing to take inspired action. I am willing to let life meet me. I am willing to receive good without guilt. There is a beautiful difference between action from panic and action from worthiness. Panic grabs, worthiness opens. Panic says, I must get this or I am nothing. Worthiness says, this is good and I am available to receive what is right for me. Panic exhausts the body. Worthiness lets the body breathe. Panic tries to control every detail. Worthiness places the order in the cosmic kitchen and trusts that life knows more ways to deliver good than the mind can imagine. Imagine going to a lovely restaurant. You give your order to the waiter, then you relax and allow the kitchen to prepare it. You do not run into the kitchen every 30 seconds, shouting, are you making it? Did you hear me? What if you forgot? What if someone else gets my food? You trust the process. You may enjoy the company. You may drink your water. You may look around. And when the food arrives, you receive it. This is a playful way to think about life. Speak your word, take your step, then stop chasing the universe into the kitchen. Your worthiness is not created by struggle. It is not created by proving yourself to people who cannot see you. It is not created by becoming exhausted enough to deserve rest. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy of love, respect, peace, support, beauty, joy, and abundance. Perhaps you were not taught this. Perhaps your family believed that good things must be earned through hardship. Perhaps you learned that receiving too much was selfish, dangerous, or arrogant. But those are old beliefs, and old beliefs can be changed. You might ask yourself, what do I believe would happen if I received more good? Would people judge you? Would you lose it? Would someone take it away? Would you feel guilty? Would you have to leave behind an old identity? These questions are not meant to frighten you. They are meant to show you the places where love is needed. Look gently, write the answers down, then say, thank you for sharing. I am willing to believe something new. A new belief might be, it is safe for me to receive good. Another might be, I can prosper and remain loving. Another might be, I do not have to shrink to belong. Another might be, the good that comes to me blesses me and allows me to bless life more fully. These are new signals. These are new instructions to the subconscious mind. And as you practice them, your vibration rises not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped arguing against your own good. The fourth way is to care for your body, because the body is the house of your vibration. Please do not leave the body out of spiritual work. Your body is not separate from your energy. It is the instrument through which your energy moves. If the body is exhausted, dehydrated, tense, underfed, overfed, sleep-deprived, and constantly criticized, it becomes very difficult to feel light. You may say the most beautiful affirmations, but if you are treating your body like an enemy, the inner signal becomes mixed. Think of energy as a river. When you rest, breathe, drink water, eat with care, move gently, stretch, walk, sleep, and listen. The river flows more freely. When you push, ignore, criticize, rush, and pretend the body has no needs, the river becomes blocked. The body begins to whisper. If you do not listen, it speaks louder. And still, it is not betraying you. It is trying to bring you back into harmony. A glass of water can be spiritual. A slow walk can be spiritual. Going to bed earlier can be spiritual. Saying no because your body is tired can be spiritual. Eating in a way that supports your energy can be spiritual. Putting your hand on your chest and taking 3 deep breaths can be spiritual. Do not make raising your vibration so complicated that you forget the simple things life is always offering you. In the morning, say to your body, "How can I support you today?" Then listen. Perhaps it wants movement. Perhaps it wants quiet. Perhaps it wants nourishment. Perhaps it wants less caffeine and more water. Perhaps it wants you to stop calling it ugly. Perhaps it wants you to bless it for carrying you through another day. Your body is always responding to the way you speak to it. Speak as if it belongs to someone you love. The 5th way is to nourish gratitude and presence every day. Gratitude is one of the quickest ways to move from lack into enoughness. When you are grateful, you tell the mind, "There is good here." And when you are present, you tell the body, "This moment is safe enough to enter." You do not need to begin with enormous things. Begin with the breath. Begin with the eyes that can see the morning light. Begin with the hands that can hold a cup. Begin with one person who once showed you kindness. Begin with the bed that carried you through the night. Begin with the fact that a new day has opened again. Gratitude does not deny pain. It simply refuses to let pain be the only story. You can be healing and grateful. You can be uncertain and grateful. You can be waiting and grateful. You can still have desires while appreciating what is already here. Gratitude is not saying, "I need nothing." It is saying, "I recognize the good that is already present, and I allow more good to grow from here." Presence makes gratitude real. Taste the tea. Feel the water on your hands. Notice the sky. Breathe before you answer. Listen when someone speaks. Bless the money that comes in and the money that goes out. Say thank you to your body. Say thank you to life. Say thank you even for the small signs that you are learning, growing, softening, returning. And then, when your vibration begins to align, life can start to feel like magic. Not always like thunder and lightning. Sometimes magic is very quiet. You think of a person, and they reach out. You need an answer, and a sentence appears in a book, a conversation, a video, or a moment of silence. You feel uncertain about a decision, and suddenly something becomes clear. It feels as if life is whispering, "Keep going. You are being guided." This is synchronicity. It often appears when you stop gripping everything with fear. When the hand opens, life has somewhere to place the gift. When the mind softens, guidance can enter. When you no longer demand that life prove itself every minute, you begin to notice the gentle ways it has been speaking all along. Flow also begins to appear. Meetings feel more natural. Ideas arrive at the right time. The path opens step by step. The right people come in their season. Opportunities do not feel like things you must chase until you collapse. They feel like doors you are ready to walk through. You are still participating. You are still showing up. But you are not wrestling life to the ground. You are cooperating. And then there is a very beautiful sign of a higher vibration, peace without a clear reason. Perhaps the big goal is not finished yet. Perhaps the money has not fully arrived. Perhaps the love has not appeared. Perhaps the answer is still forming. And yet, deep inside, something is no longer desperate. You feel, I am all right. I am being guided. Life is working for me in ways I may not yet see. This peace is precious. It means you are no longer waiting for perfection before you allow yourself to breathe. When your energy changes, the outer world may rearrange itself. Some people may drift away. Some old dramas may no longer interest you. Some environments may feel too small for the person you are becoming. At first, this can feel strange. You may wonder, why do I not fit here anymore? Dear one, sometimes not fitting is a sign of growth. Sometimes the miracle is not that everything stays the same and finally loves you. Sometimes the miracle is that you love yourself enough to move toward what matches your new energy. Magic is not always a large event falling from the sky. Sometimes magic is the moment you do not react like the old you. It is the moment you choose peace instead of panic. It is the moment you see your worth and do not push away the compliment, the opportunity, the kindness, the love. It is the moment you realize, I am not who I was. I am becoming someone new. So let us make this practical. In the morning, before you pick up the phone, place your hand on your heart and ask, what signal do I want to send today? Peace or hurry? Trust or doubt? Gratitude or lack? Love or fear? Then say, today, I choose the vibration of love, peace, and abundance. Let the words be simple. Let your body hear them. During the day, pause when your energy is pulled down. When someone irritates you, do not respond immediately. When a negative thought appears, do not believe it too quickly. When jealousy, comparison, or self-criticism rises, say, I am being pulled into an old frequency. I can choose again. One breath can change the direction of energy. One kind sentence can keep you from falling deeper. One boundary can protect a whole day. At night, clear your energy before sleep. Look back without judgment. What made you heavy? What made you light? Where did you react from fear? Where did you choose love? Then imagine releasing everything that does not belong to you. Other people's moods, old conversations, unspoken tension, the pressure to fix everything. Let it leave the body like dust being washed from the skin. Say, I release what is not mine. I return to peace. And now, let these affirmations become a new signal in you. I am a magnet for love, peace, and abundance. My energy is clear, calm, and powerful. Life supports me in beautiful and unexpected ways. I now choose thoughts that lift me higher. I trust the process of life. I am worthy of all the good that comes to me. You do not need to become a perfect person for life to become more beautiful. You only need to begin noticing the signal you are sending. Every loving thought is a new signal. Every boundary is a new signal. Every act of care for your body is a new signal. Every moment of gratitude is a new signal. Every time you return to yourself instead of abandoning yourself, the energy changes. And when your signal changes, life no longer responds to the old version of you in the same way. It begins to respond to the new you, the softer you, the clearer you, the more worthy you, the you who is learning to open your hands and say, I am ready now. I am open and receptive to all good. Hello, my dear friends. You often thank other people for being there for you, for helping you, for loving you, for listening to you, for supporting you, don't you? But how often do you stop, place your hand on your heart, and thank yourself? How often do you say, "Thank you, me, for trying. Thank you, me, for staying. Thank you, me, for waking up today and beginning again. Thank you, me, for not giving up when life felt too heavy"? Many of us are very familiar with self-criticism. We know how to say, "I am not good enough. I should have done better. I am too slow. I am too weak. I made a mistake. I should be further along by now." But we were never really taught how to thank ourselves for the invisible courage it took to keep going. My dear, you have thanked many people for being there for you. But today, life is asking you to thank the one person who has never truly left you yourself. You were there in every season. You were there in the mornings when you felt tired but still got up. You were there in the nights when your heart hurt and no one knew how much. You were there when you made mistakes and still had to learn. You were there when you lost something, when you hoped again, when you cried quietly, when you began again with trembling hands. You may have forgotten your own loyalty. You may have overlooked your own strength. You may have been so busy blaming yourself for not being perfect that you did not see how brave you have been simply to remain here. So today, let us begin a new relationship with ourselves through gratitude. Say softly, "I thank myself for being here, for trying, for healing, and for not giving up." Let that sentence feel unfamiliar if it needs to. Many healing words feel strange in the beginning because the mind has been trained to reject kindness. But strange does not mean false. It may simply mean new. You are learning a new language with yourself. You are learning to stop treating your soul like a worker who is only valuable when it performs well. You are learning to thank yourself not because you are perfect, but because you are alive, learning, repairing, growing, and still willing to heal. Why is it so hard to thank ourselves? For many people, it began long ago. Perhaps you were praised only when you achieved something. Perhaps love felt louder when you were successful, quiet, useful, beautiful, obedient, or strong. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where comparison was normal, where someone else was always better, faster, smarter, prettier, calmer, or more successful. Perhaps you were corrected more than encouraged. Perhaps you became the strong one so early that you forgot you were also allowed to be tender. Perhaps you began to believe that if you did not push yourself harshly, you would never improve. So self-criticism became a strange kind of motivation. You thought, if I am gentle with myself, I will become lazy. If I praise myself, I will become arrogant. If I rest, I am weak. If I thank myself, I am being too proud. But my dear, thanking yourself is not arrogance. It is healing. It is not saying, "I am better than everyone." It is saying, "I see my own effort." It is not saying, "I have nothing left to learn." It is saying, "I honor how far I have come while I continue to grow." You do not have to be perfect to appreciate yourself. You deserve gratitude because you have lived, learned, corrected, apologized, repaired, endured, stood up again, and continued. You deserve gratitude because there were days when quitting emotionally would have been easier, but some part of you chose to stay. Say gently, I do not have to be perfect to appreciate myself. There is also something important to understand about the brain. The brain often remembers criticism faster than love. It pays attention to danger, mistakes, rejection, and negative information because it is trying to protect you. This does not mean your brain is against you. It means your brain learned to watch for what could hurt you. But if you do not consciously plant loving words, the mind may return to old habits, scanning for flaws, predicting disappointment, replaying mistakes, and building a case against yourself. If you are used to thinking, I am not good enough, your mind will collect evidence to make that sentence seem true. It will ignore your effort, your kindness, your survival, your growth, and it will magnify the one thing you did not do perfectly. But the beautiful truth is this: you can train the mind to notice differently. If you begin saying, thank you, me, for trying, the brain begins to look for proof that you are trying. If you say, thank you, me, for growing, the mind begins to notice your growth. If you say, thank you, me, for surviving, the heart begins to remember all the things you have already come through. Repetition matters. A sentence repeated with love can become a new pathway. 30 days of thanking yourself is not only a sweet practice, it is a gentle re-education of the mind. It is a way of moving from self-judgment to self-recognition, from inner attack to inner safety, from I am never enough to I see myself with compassion now. When gratitude is repeated, the body also begins to receive a new message. The nervous system hears, I am not in danger from my own voice. The heart softens, the shoulders drop, the breath deepens. The inner child begins to peek out from hiding. The soul begins to feel that perhaps, finally, it is safe to be seen by you. Say softly, I train my mind to notice my goodness, my effort, and my growth. This is self-gratitude. It is not pretending you have no flaws. It is choosing to see yourself with a fuller truth. Yes, you are still learning. Yes, you may still make mistakes. Yes, you may still have wounds to heal. But you also have goodness. You also have courage. You also have effort. You also have a heart that has been trying for a long time. Now imagine doing this for 30 days. Not as a challenge that pressures you, not as another thing to do perfectly. Think of it as a journey home. Every day, for a few minutes, you place your hand on your heart. You call your name gently. You say or write 3 sentences beginning with, thank you, me, for. That is all. It does not have to be long. It does not have to sound beautiful. It only has to be honest. Thank you, me, for waking up and trying again. Thank you, me, for surviving what once broke my heart. Thank you, me, for learning to love myself slowly. Each thank you is like a drop of water on a heart that has been dry from too much self-blame. Each thank you says, I see you. I am not only here to criticize you, I am here to honor you too. You do not need to wait for someone else to recognize your effort before you can recognize it. You can become the first source of recognition for yourself. You can become the witness you have been longing for. Say gently, every day I thank myself back into love. What a beautiful sentence. thanking yourself back into love, not forcing yourself, not fixing yourself with shame, not demanding immediate confidence, simply thanking yourself little by little until the heart remembers that it deserves kindness. For the first 10 days, keep it very simple. Do not try to love every part of yourself immediately. Do not force yourself to be positive. Begin by thanking yourself for surviving. Thank yourself for waking up today. Thank yourself for going through hard days. Thank yourself for enduring things no one saw. Thank yourself for crying and still continuing. Thank your body for walking with you. Thank your heart for still knowing how to love. Thank your inner child for trying to feel safe. Thank yourself for learning from mistakes. Thank yourself for not giving up. Thank yourself for beginning to heal. My dear, you cannot build true self-love on a foundation that denies your pain. First, honor the part of you that survived. Honor the part of you that stayed when life was not easy. Honor the part of you that kept breathing through confusion, loss, fear, shame, and change. Place your hand on your heart and say, "Thank you, me, for surviving. Thank you, me, for staying." Let this be the first doorway in your 30 days. You are not behind. You are not weak. You are not too late. You are a soul learning to stop attacking itself and begin offering gratitude. And every sincere thank you brings you one step closer to healing your heart. The next 10 days, my dear, are about thanking yourself for growing. After you have gently honored the part of you that survived, after you have said, "Thank you, me, for staying," and "Thank you, me, for not giving up," something inside you becomes ready for a deeper recognition. You are not only the person who was hurt. You are not only the person who endured. You are not only the person who cried, waited, lost, and kept going. You are also the person who is learning. You are the person who is choosing differently now. You are the person who is slowly rebuilding the relationship with yourself, one small decision at a time. And this is beautiful, because growth does not always look loud. Sometimes growth is very quiet. Sometimes growth is simply the moment you do not abandon yourself the way you used to. So for days 11 through 20, we thank the self who is growing. We thank the self who is beginning to say no. Perhaps your no is still shaky. Perhaps your voice still trembles. Perhaps you still feel guilty after you set a boundary. That is all right, my dear. A shaky no can still be a sacred no. It means something in you has begun to understand. My peace matters too. My time matters too. My body matters too. My needs matter too. So you say, "Thank you, me, for learning to set boundaries." Not because you do it perfectly, but because you are beginning. Not because everyone understands you, but because you are finally beginning to understand yourself. Then you thank yourself for listening to your feelings. For so long, perhaps you pushed your feelings down. You told yourself you were too sensitive, too emotional, too dramatic, too complicated. You tried to be fine when you were not fine. You tried to be strong when you needed comfort. You tried to stay calm while your body was asking for honesty. But now you are learning to pause and ask, what am I feeling? Where is this in my body? What is this emotion trying to tell me? That is growth. That is not weakness. That is emotional maturity. Say softly, "Thank you, me, for listening to my feelings." and thank yourself for not reacting like the old version of you. This is such a powerful sign of healing. Maybe once, when you felt rejected, you immediately chased. Maybe once, when you felt criticized, you attacked yourself for days. Maybe once, when you felt afraid, you tried to control everything. Maybe once, when you were triggered, you sent messages from panic. But today, perhaps you paused. Perhaps you breathed. Perhaps you waited until your heart was calmer. Perhaps you chose silence not as punishment, but as self-respect. Perhaps you said, I will respond from peace, not from my wound. My dear, that is growth. Thank yourself for that. Say, thank you, me, for choosing differently today. Thank yourself for choosing healthier people, healthier places, and healthier things. This can be difficult because the old familiar patterns often pull strongly. Familiar pain can feel safer than unfamiliar peace. But you are beginning to notice what drains you and what nourishes you. You are beginning to feel the difference between love and attachment, between peace and numbness, between chemistry and chaos, between loyalty and self-abandonment. You may not choose perfectly every time, but you are becoming more honest. You are learning to walk away from what hurts you. Say gently, thank you, me, for walking away from what hurts me. Thank yourself for daring to look at the truth. Truth is not always comfortable. Sometimes truth asks you to admit that you have outgrown something. Sometimes truth asks you to see a pattern you did not want to see. Sometimes truth asks you to stop defending someone's behavior when your body already knows it is painful. Sometimes truth asks you to recognize your own part, not with shame, but with responsibility. My dear, truth is not here to punish you. Truth is here to free you. So say, thank you, me, for telling myself the truth. Each honest moment brings you closer to freedom. Thank yourself for rebuilding self-trust. Self-trust is not rebuilt by one grand promise. It is rebuilt through small promises kept. You say you will drink water, and you do. You say you will rest, and you allow yourself to rest. You say you will not check the phone for 10 minutes while triggered, and you breathe instead. You say you will write one page, clean one corner, take one walk, tell one truth, make one choice that honors you. Every time you keep a small promise, your soul whispers, I can trust myself a little more. Say softly, thank you, me, for rebuilding self-trust. And then say, thank you, me, for keeping small promises. These small promises are not small to the heart. They are proof that you are becoming someone safe for yourself. Thank yourself for releasing what is no longer yours. This may be a belief, a relationship, a role, a dream that no longer fits, a burden you carried for someone else, or an identity built from old pain. Releasing can feel like loss, but sometimes it is the most loving thing you can do. You are not here to carry every story forever. You are not here to stay loyal to pain just because it is familiar. Say, thank you, me, for releasing what is no longer mine. Let your body feel lighter as you say it. You can honor the past without dragging it into every new room. Thank yourself for becoming gentler. This is one of the sweetest forms of growth. The world may have taught you to be hard on yourself. It may have taught you to push, prove, perform, and punish. But now you are learning that gentleness can also create change. You are learning to speak to yourself with a softer voice. You are learning to rest without calling yourself lazy. You are learning to make mistakes without turning them into a life sentence. You are learning that tenderness is not weakness, it is wisdom. Say gently, "Thank you, me, for becoming gentler." And thank yourself for growing at your own pace. You do not have to heal on someone else's timeline. You do not have to become a new person overnight. You do not have to compare your chapter to another person's chapter. Growth has seasons. Some days you bloom. Some days you root deeper in the dark. Some days you rest. Some days you rise. All of it belongs. Say softly, "Thank you, me, for growing at my own pace." Then let the main affirmation for these 10 days settle in your heart. Thank you, me, for growing. Thank you, me, for choosing better. And then, my dear, we enter the final 10 days. These last 10 days are about receiving. After survival has been honored and growth has been recognized, the heart begins to open to a new life. Not because everything is finished, not because every wound is completely healed, not because you never feel afraid anymore, but because something inside you begins to say, "Maybe I am ready for more good. Maybe life can be gentle with me. Maybe I do not have to stay in the old story forever. Maybe I can receive love without chasing it. Maybe I can receive joy without feeling guilty. Maybe I can receive abundance without believing I must suffer first." So on day 21, you thank yourself for opening to good things. This is not always easy after painful seasons. Pain can train the heart to expect disappointment. But healing begins to say, "I am willing to believe that good can come again." Say, "Thank you, me, for opening to good things." On day 22, thank yourself for remembering you are worthy of love. Not after you become perfect, not after someone chooses you, not after you fix every flaw. Now, say, "Thank you, me, for remembering I am worthy of love." On day 23, thank yourself for allowing joy back into your life. Joy can feel strange after survival. You may have become so used to being strong that joy feels almost unsafe. But joy is not a betrayal of your past pain. Joy is proof that your heart is still alive. Say, "Thank you, me, for allowing joy back into my life." On day 24, thank yourself for dreaming again. Maybe the dream is small. Maybe it is still fragile. Maybe it is only a whisper. But a dream means the soul is looking forward. Say, "Thank you, me, for dreaming again." On day 25, thank yourself for learning to receive. Many people know how to give. They give time, care, attention, love, labor, patience, forgiveness, and understanding. But receiving can feel harder. Receiving requires softness. It requires believing that you do not have to earn everything through exhaustion. Say, "Thank you, me, for learning to receive." On day 26, thank yourself for making space for blessings. Maybe you are clearing your room, clearing your schedule, clearing old energy, clearing old beliefs, or clearing relationships that no longer honor your spirit. Space is sacred. Say, "Thank you, me, for making space for blessings." On day 27, thank yourself for trusting life again. Perhaps trust comes slowly. Perhaps one part of you still says, "But what if I get hurt?" Be kind to that part. Trust is not blindness. Trust is the willingness to remain open while becoming wiser. Say, "Thank you, me, for trusting life again. On day 28, thank yourself for choosing peace over old drama. There may have been a time when drama felt familiar, when intensity felt like love, when chaos made you feel needed. But now your nervous system is learning a new language. Say, thank you, me, for choosing peace over old drama. On day 29, thank yourself for becoming your own safe place. This is the heart of healing. You no longer leave yourself alone in painful moments. You no longer attack yourself when you are afraid. You no longer abandon your needs to keep someone close. You are becoming the person who stays. Say, thank you, me, for becoming my own safe place. And on day 30, thank yourself for completing 30 days of returning to your heart. Not perfectly, not without resistance, not without forgetting sometimes, but with sincerity. Say, thank you, me, for these 30 days of healing my heart. The main affirmation for the final 10 days is this: thank you, me, for opening to love, joy, abundance, and a beautiful new life. Let those words feel like a door opening. Love, joy, abundance, a beautiful new life. You are not only surviving now, you are learning how to receive. And a heart that has been thanked does not have to beg for love from places that keep hurting it. A heart that has been thanked begins to say, I have me, I am with me, and from this place I can receive more good. After 30 days of thanking yourself, your outside life may not change all at once, but something very important begins to change inside. The way you see yourself begins to soften. And when your relationship with yourself changes, your choices begin to change too. First, your inner voice becomes gentler. You no longer attack yourself immediately when you make a mistake. You can pause and say, I am learning. This is a miracle, my dear. A gentle inner voice can become a home. Second, your nervous system begins to feel safer. You do not need to run outside yourself in desperation every time something feels uncertain. You can come back to your breath. You can place a hand on your heart. You can say, I am here with me. This does not mean you no longer need people. It means you no longer abandon yourself while waiting for people. Third, you begin to see more good evidence about yourself. The brain becomes familiar with noticing effort, not only mistakes. You begin to remember, I kept going, I learned, I repaired, I tried, I grew. The mind becomes less like a judge and more like a witness. Fourth, you become less dependent on outside recognition. Compliments still feel lovely. Encouragement still matters. Love from others is still a blessing, but it is no longer the only source of your worth. You begin to give yourself some of the recognition you once begged the world to give you. Fifth, the heart softens. You no longer need to be hard in order to survive. You can be gentle and strong. You can be tender and wise. You can be open and still have boundaries. A soft heart is not a weak heart. It is a heart that is no longer frozen in defense. Sixth, you choose better. When you thank yourself, you become less willing to place yourself in environments where you are dismissed, ignored, belittled, or made small. Gratitude toward yourself creates self-respect. You begin to ask, does this honor the person I am becoming? And seventh, you begin to feel worthy of receiving good. Self-gratitude opens the door to self-worth. You realize you are not here only to survive pain. You are here to live fully, love deeply, create, receive, rest, laugh, heal, and experience the goodness life still has for you. Say softly, as I thank myself, I heal my heart and remember my worth. Let this be the thread through the 30 days. Every thank you is medicine. Every thank you is a repair. Every thank you is a small return. Every thank you says to the soul, I see you now. Now, my dear, let us read the 30 thank you affirmations together. You may read one each day, or you may read them all whenever your heart needs to remember its own beauty. Thank you, me, for being here today. Thank you, me, for surviving what once felt impossible. Thank you, me, for trying again. Thank you, me, for carrying me through painful seasons. Thank you, my body, for supporting me every day. Thank you, my heart, for still being able to love. Thank you, my inner child, for staying with me. Thank you, me, for learning from the past. Thank you, me, for not giving up. Thank you, me, for beginning to heal. Thank you, me, for learning to set boundaries. Thank you, me, for listening to my feelings. Thank you, me, for choosing differently today. Thank you, me, for walking away from what hurts me. Thank you, me, for telling myself the truth. Thank you, me, for rebuilding self-trust. Thank you, me, for keeping small promises. Thank you, me, for releasing what is no longer mine. Thank you, me, for becoming gentler. Thank you, me, for growing at my own pace. Thank you, me, for opening to good things. Thank you, me, for remembering I am worthy of love. Thank you, me, for allowing joy back into my life. Thank you, me, for dreaming again. Thank you, me, for learning to receive. Thank you, me, for making space for blessings. Thank you, me, for trusting life again. Thank you, me, for choosing peace over old drama. Thank you, me, for becoming my own safe place. Thank you, me, for these 30 days of healing my heart. And now, as we come to the close, I want you to thank the person who has carried you through everything. You have thanked many people in your life, and that is beautiful. Gratitude toward others opens the heart. But today, thank yourself. Thank the feet that kept walking. Thank the heart that endured pain and still knows how to love. Thank the body that accompanied you through every season. Thank the soul that never truly left you, even when you forgot how to be gentle with yourself. In the first 10 days, thank yourself for surviving. In the next 10 days, thank yourself for growing. In the final 10 days, thank yourself for opening to a new life. And after 30 days, may you no longer see yourself as a broken project that must constantly be fixed. May you begin to see yourself as a beloved being who deserves patience, tenderness, appreciation, and care. If you are ready to begin 30 days of thanking yourself and healing your heart, write in the comments, "Thank you, me." Let that be your declaration. Let your body hear it. Let your inner child hear it. Let your heart hear it. You are finally coming home to yourself. Say this final affirmation with me. Thank you, me, for being here. Thank you for surviving, for growing, for healing, and for opening your heart again. I forgive myself for being too hard on myself. I choose to appreciate who I am, what I have endured, and who I am becoming. I am worthy of love, peace, joy, and every good thing life is bringing to me. All is well in my world.